Okay. So here we are, and I wanted to show you this. Um, Wait a minute. I just want to look at something quickly. I hope the audio is okay. Just giving you a warning. I don't even know the E Times. Is that the Epic Times? I'm not sure. Well, we'll assume it is. Okay. Oh, poop. Yeah. Okay, here we go. A cozy photo with VP, VP JD Vance sparks a new political firestorm. I don't think it's even a political firestorm. I think that this woman, Skank Kirk, is nothing more than an extremely slutty honeypot, way overdone to the point where we talked about the budget of Toilet Paper USA and how they in 2024 took in 89 million, but only 80 only what 8 million of that was was I don't know really know where they filed. I assume Arizona was taxable. I mean, so basically $81 million, excuse me, yeah, out of 89 million, 81 million was spent on expenses. Then you had to go through a paywall on Jason Goodman's site to get the rest of it. But I have not seen anyone else take a look at this one. It was very concerning. Now, the person researching this, I believe he could have done some journalism or wrote op-eds for major newspapers, but he also worked at a brokerage house, Dillon Reed, and was lived in New York City even as growing up as a child. Oh my God! Hang on a minute. And that was what Charles Ortel, and that was really good video. And I haven't really seen anyone bring this up or do any further research on it. Why? You know, this is pretty big because $4 million, then that needs to be divided up amongst all the employees. But his house is apparently worth $6 million. It could be more. It was sold right before all this shit happened. Where does Erika Kirk live now? In an apartment? The kids, I mean, if he was traveling on the road over 300 days a year, and there are 365 days in a year, how in the world were his kids that familiar with him? Because a 1-year-old or a 3 or 4-year-old kid, I'm telling you, just as a person that had a dad that worked all day and all night, they come home, they're extremely exhausted, they're crabby, and then he spends all his spare time on his property 4 hours. It used to be able to make it in 4, but now, okay, so about 5 hours from Milwaukee, where you're, sitting in a car. You have like two, with your dad, and then, you're just basically up playing out in the woods while he's constructing a house. And it's not like a pleasure trip or going to a water park with daddy. It was like, shut up and get the hell out of the way. And then as things changed economically for my dad, as he started to progress and started to reap the rewards of his work, it became much different, which was when I was in my early 20s. But prior to that, it was quite difficult. I mean, but but his income was pretty much average. So it's his tax returns are bullshit. Um Erica alone, I'm sure, has a several $1,000 a month beauty bill. That's for her lashes, her makeup. She probably has a nanny, her clothes. Although I think those are pleather pants and not leather. She looks ridiculous in them. I have several pairs of pants like that. Even, oh my God. I don't really know how old she is. We're told one age. She's Botoxed like to the max. A monthly Botox bill, injection bill. Those hair extensions are absurdly ridiculous. She basically is a blonde Kimberly Guilfoyle, but not quite as bad. You know she has boob job based on how thin her body is and then how big her breasts are. It's just not congruent. So here we go.
No one will ever replace my husband. No.
Why do they keep putting this chick front and center? She's horrible.
But I do see some similarities of my husband and
That's nice.
JD.
He's real he's really not your husband, but you go ahead and you pretend. Because this right here, running fingers through the hair, taking your nails, I mean, his hair, I mean, she's actually running her fingers in there, okay? Let's try it at well, let's do it at 1/4 speed and I'll turn down the audio because honestly, her voice is really gets to me. Oh, yes, she has to have her brows microbladed. Look at that, this the heaviest black eyeshadow that you could possibly find. Let's go. Look at this. She's taking her hands and like rubbing his arm and like massaging his bicep. Like she's digging in, she's going and looking into his eyes like you would pre-sex or in an embrace. Her tummy looks like she's pregnant now, or maybe she is. Who knows? But she looks pregnant in this picture. Um, if I see this t-shirt one more time, I'm going to barf my brains out. In a way, he's pulling back just a bit, but then in another way, he's like, okay, you just gave me an erection here. I'm turning hard and now I have to face the camera. I know I'm being graphic and all her bracelets and all this crap. Do I over accessorize once in a while? Oh, shit, yeah. But this is supposed to be a professional organization that brings in $89 million. This stomach does look pregnant to me, but then her waist is, I don't know what's going on here. I just don't. is he whispering in her ear? Now watch her hand. Watch her hand. Well, I don't know why they blurred. Wow, she's like running her fingers through his hair. I didn't think so either. At first, I thought, no, but why would you take a man's head on stage and do this kind of stuff? Like, what is she after exactly? Here's another scene. And also, can I ask you another question? Her lipstick looks almost black. She looks very ghoulish. If your husband was like wearing a t-shirt, freedom, oh big deal. Okay. And he was killed wearing that shirt, why would you want to wear it? Why would you, if you really loved that man, which, let's lay the cards on the table, I don't believe they were even married. There isn't even a burial spot. And in the state of Wisconsin, when you have a death certificate, you have to put down the place of burial. I doubt that he could be in like what my mom is in. She's in a mausoleum. She's in a crypt. And my dad and all my family members actually, there are several crypts in that place, several little, my grandmother is in one. My grandfather is in one, the Catholic ones anyway. My uncle, both my aunts. And it's just sort of like the doors lock at, I think, either 4 or 4:30. They have surveillance everywhere. And people walking around all the time burying people, and priests and security guards, and actually the staff they've hired there is kind of subpar. It's a large cemetery, so there are people constantly coming in and out. You know, what I'm trying to say is there wouldn't be someone entering with a bunch of guns shooting someone up. There wouldn't be someone with a can of spray paint, because that person would be imprisoned. So I don't believe he's dead. And there is no reason why, if that is a public document, which death certificates are, why hasn't someone done a FOIA or done a simple search online like findgrave.com or something? Well, people have, and we can't find it. She's a very bad actress at that. And she looks ghoulish. She looks very satanic. She looks like someone that would easily hang out with Uma Abedin. I mean, she wants to be in a position of power, but I believe that she's been, conditioned and brainwashed and used. I mean, what was she doing in Romania with the United States Marines at age 17? Not even an adult. Funding an orphanage? No. Don't buy it. Please do not buy it. Okay, now watch. She's squeezing her breasts against him and putting her hands through his hair. Then she takes her hands and look at this. She's like rubbing him, like massaging him. Is he saying something in her ear? Right here. I mean, the chick is fat. Okay, I'm saying it. I'm sorry. God spoke to them or something? Get out of here. Look at this. Now his mouth is open with his teeth smiling, but she has other ideas. But she's with Usha all the time too. She is a controlled operative honeypot. Here's I think Twitter or something. Erika Kirk wore those pants on purpose to remind J.D. Vance of his favorite leather couch. Ah! She is rubbing and pushing her breasts, which are fake, into him. And just like, oh, I want you so bad. Erika Kirk with an inappropriate greeting in Mississippi. A romantic like bear hug over the top of a hair grab. Too passionate. She has had virtually no grieving period either. And she's wearing the shirt he was murdered in. I would never want to see that thing again. And I would say, pull it off the website. Instead, it's being promoted because it never happened. And what's really weird is my local Uber Lib, where I get my Fox 6 Milwaukee, where I get like my reports on crime, which are really terrible. I mean, they don't really give much. They just give the same paragraph over and over and over, and then it says what we need to know. Well, okay. Someone was at a house having a party, left, and got shot and killed last week. When some 19-year-old kid. Okay. She's looking into his eyes. And then look what she does to his suit. She's just grabbing him and just like, oh, I would, God, never do anything like that. I'm sorry. And why are they looking into each other's eyes? Let's watch one more time here. I want to see what he does. What is his body language? But he's pushing her right there into him. And social media buzzes with claims of chemistry, controversy, and See, J.D. Vance was according to him, a very awkward, overweight kid. So for him, this attention, being a young man and married to some Hindu chick, this attention is probably really turning him on. But I bet they share eyeliner. Then she kind of pushes him back and still is rubbing him and walks off. And he's like, now what do? I have a heart on. I hope no one notices. Jazz Gibbs, she's going to run with him in 2028. I don't think so. It will be Vance for president and her as VP. I hate it when people just make these like assumptions without really thinking of the power struggle in that party. So much dirt would come out on this broad. she's not a runnable candidate. And why? I mean, I hate it when people say that, yeah, she's going to run for president. No, she's not. She has she has experience in corruption, not in real politics or government or whatever. She might sound good. She might have a script. She might know how to read a prompter. I don't think she's any good. But I'll tell you this much. What kind of knowledge does this woman have of anything besides just being a sleazebag? I'm sorry. Am I the only one who thinks Erika's comments about JD Vance are a little sus? No. He's going to shove his wife aside and he will Eric KKK. Well, that's stupid too. Will be the new white supremacy. This is from a blonde-haired white chick. Super couple. And, if you want to get along anywhere, would you run around saying, hey, I'm white and I'm great and I'm a white supremacist and all this shit? That's terrible. Part of family values and all. He's got 3 Hindu kids. All the followers will eat it up saying it's ordained. And it's stupid. Okay. Well, we're finished with that part. Oh, this is the Times of India. I apologize. Well, the India, the population there is, hang on. I mean, what does it take for me just to get the speed back normally? Oh, she's got black extensions going on underneath. She is the most manufactured, fake, phony person ever. Teeth, her lips, her boobs. Look at those eyes. What do you guys think of this? I think it's really weird. I also wanted to just put out there that her eyes look glazed over? You guys, no, and it's still yrefi.com. They're still, even though he didn't want people to go to college, they're still pushing rip-off stuff to refinance their student loan. When actually what people don't know is you can, unless it's been ruled out, illegal, which I don't think it is, you can get, if you're having trouble finding a job, you can get 13-month, well, it used to be 13-month deferments for payment, and you can I can't speak. And you can get on the phone. I was on a conference call once as a real estate agent in support of a client with the mortgage banker and the client with the government or whoever it was that she had her loan with, her student loan. I honestly can't remember what my part in it was, but a couple times I've had to do stuff like this. I had to be like a witness or something about the house and all that jazz so that she could get her extension. And so that if that would have been counted, they when they raised the insurance interest rates were raised after she locked in a mortgage, which meant even though she had an offer in for the house she was buying, the deal wasn't complete yet. So she no longer qualified for the mortgage that she had pre-approved to buy the house. But I had a really good mortgage banker that knew all the tricks. So, okay, so we're finished with this. I also wanted to give you guys a bit of a warning on this. I'm going to go on Brave. And I know what the answer is going to be, but Nick Fuentes is clearly controlled ops. If you're on Tucker Carlson, you're controlled ops. You know, I always thought something was wrong with him, but now I know because it happened right after the Kirk death, fake death, and so they say here in the first sentence on the AI, okay, Nick Fuentes is frequently described as controlled ops by critics. No, by people just on a Rumble chat who argue and he's gay too. Actions and rhetoric serve to discredit or manipulate segments of the right wing and populist movements. Well, there are no longer right wing populist movements. You might have like a David Duke, who some people think is controlled ops too. But as far as a movement, no. A bowel movement, yes. Because this is bullshit. I mean, he was promoting Hitler, but people don't know the whole story behind that either, because we are being fed all this weird information, and a lot of it is bullshit. And the fact that he was ostracized because he was a Trump supporter in college, he's not the kind of guy that's really, how can I put it? He's not the kind of guy that has a whole bunch of friends anyway. He describes himself as an incel, which is a man that does not have sex and that never had sex and prefers being on the computer instead. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that that's a problem. It's almost like a mental illness. A man who's, 27 years old, 27 and a half years old, has desires. A man that I believe he has a lot of money, somehow doesn't have a regular job, never has, ever. Never worked a day in his life, but somehow has a whole bunch of money and Bitcoin and all this shit from people on his website, on his Rumble feed, giving him $10, sometimes $100. And then he has to pay taxes on that too. And there's a fee to the processor, to Rumble. I mean, if you're taking money like that, you have to pay someone in order to promote. I don't even want to get into it. I mean, a percentage of that is going to someone, and then taxes. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. He's just not that good. Anyway, he blocked me on his site, which I really don't care because I flat out told him. He may be a tool used to infiltrate and destabilize grassroots conservative activism. There isn't any grassroots conservative activism. That went away after, well, there just isn't any because it's all controlled opposition right now. Okay. Um, well, I lost it. Oh, I know. Conversely, Fuentes himself has claimed much of conservative media functions. It does. I'll give you a name, Candace Owens. Um, well, now I've lost this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hmm. Well, I certainly don't have this anymore. I have it saved somewhere. So she married a white dude, and lucky for her, um, yeah. Here, yeah, we're just gonna get buffering now. See what I mean? Let's do it this way. Uh oh. Oh, right here. Okay. Uh, what happened? What happened to the article I just had up? Mm. Grooming Candace Owens for the again. See, this is what I'm saying. All these people think that um, there's no way Candace would ever campaign. Look at this. What is going on here? Ah, of course it can't be reached. It will be. Candace Owens Glorify. I think that's her card processing service tied to Rothschild and Sons. Did you know that? Candace Owens Glorify Fund tied to Ross Funder. Yeah, like she could do something like that. She's not smart enough to do that. Um, you know what? I don't think she does any of her own work. I think she's being told what to say also, and has a script writer because she said that she has hair and makeup there at her home studio. Are you kidding? Babylonian. Ugh, I can't even do it. Here's what her husband is going to look like shortly. He's part of the British Pilgrim Society. He's Rothschild gold, silver, and precious metals banker, merchant, Candace Owens' newly minted father in law. But you think she's okay. Oh, I like Candace. Really? And PayPal tells users it will fine them $25K for misinformation, then backtracks. PayPal pulls plan to fine customers. Classical Hegelian dialect, thesis PayPal, antithesis block accounts, synthesis run to glorify you stupid patriots. We control it too. I am the co-founder. This Pilgrim Society puppet claims we are patriotic and all that. Cue up the sickly sweet video ready to go and lure PayPal users and Trump cultists into the next Rothschild banking cartel corral. Cutesy, well-produced, emotional videos still fool many brainwashed, unthinking people, supposedly. It didn't take long for the highly informed AIM community to figure out what is going on. As Latino 100 posts, Gabriel's Horn Roll up, glorify Mammon with Candace and the British Pilgrim Society, money to be made at the temple. Yeah, and they take a deeply beautiful word, glorify, and corrupt it to glorify. Glorify God versus glorify Satan. This is from Gab. I'm going to end the video now. I'm just in a kind of a lot of pain, and it is kind of late. Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock. So yeah, I'm going to yeah, we'll pick this up. But what are your thoughts? Okay.